What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Live Beyond Average podcast. Special person in the booth with me today. Can you believe this? I managed to get the co-founder of Run to Gun and Seeker Supplements in the podcast booth today. Got my wife Amy here with us. What is up?
He finally invited me. This is my first podcast.
Don't even know it's not.
Isn't
You did
it?
one way back.
Did I do one way back?
Yeah, you did one of the early episodes.
Yeah. You've done how many?
Man, this is like pushing 190. It's like, I think we have 185-ish labeled. There's 3 that are unlabeled, so we're getting close to 190.
Alright.
So, yeah, I think you were on some early ones. You were on an early one.
Okay.
You invited yourself. Don't let her lie to you guys. She
I
invited
did.
herself
I
onto the
said,
show.
I think we need to do a podcast because we have some things to talk about, so.
Yeah, and I have a lot. We have a lot that are on deck, so it's not it won't be the last time you have Amy on the show either, because we have a lot of things that we've been working on since the new year, since 2020 kicked off, because 2020 was huge for us. We went into 2020 knowing that or 2021, excuse me, knowing, let's not go back to 2020,
Yeah.
knowing that we were going to do it differently in 2021. In so many different areas of our life, and so that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been training here in our own lives in 2021. And it's just been fun because we've been training so much within ourselves to be able to pour into and train and pour into other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So at the beginning of the year, I would say most definitely Jordan was taking a lot of steps forward with his self-development and building a community, and it was just really great to watch. And through all that, he really spread his wings and started doing kind of these seeker summits, and he started doing a men's prayer, and I was just in awe of it. But there was kind of a day it hit me when I told him, I was like, okay, when you think of Seeker and you have Seeker supplements, and now you're doing Seeker summits, and now you have Run to Gun training, and there was something else that you were doing. Mm-hmm. He was spreading himself out.
Yeah, you have Run to Gun TV.
And they were just like all going in different directions, and there really wasn't a way of it all connecting like it needed to, because one business should kind of help the other part of the business, and so forth, instead of just going in all these different directions.
Yeah, I mean, I was spreading myself so thin, not on purpose, but just from the aspect of, wanting to do really well in all these different areas that we had built. But when you're spread like that, it's really hard to do really well like you want to do.
Right. And like, it was just being put on Jordan's heart, obviously, through God and whatnot, to start moving in this direction. And so there was just a day it kind of hit me and he's been kind of toying with this idea, but I said...
For a lot of years.
Yes.
Like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. But I was like, you need to create some type of group where you're creating workouts. And I think there's so many different home workouts that are available to people. There's, of course, the big name ones, and then there's also some, local ones. And I thought there was something missing with just people needing direction when it comes to the gym.
Yeah, and that's always been like the key thing of our business since we started it in 2011 was we focused on putting the personal back in personal training. And so I was always so much against like group stuff, like doing like a generic WOD or workout of the day for everybody, because I wanted things to be personalized for people. But what I ran into was I maxed myself out really quick because I became a really good trainer. I became a really popular trainer and a well-known trainer in my area. And then you take that and you put all the one-on-one training in there, well, you only have so many 5 o'clocks per day, per
Right.
week, and you fill them up, and you only have so many 4:30s. And so you're maxing yourself out on the capacity of people you can serve. So then you're maxing out also the amount of finances you can bring in, and then on top of that, you're then maxing out as many as online clients as you can get. Well, you can't have too many, or otherwise everybody starts suffering in the service department.
Mm-hmm.
And so I built my business up to exactly what my vision was, but then I ran into this snag of, well, I want to keep growing and serving more people, but I'm not able to.
Right.
And so now what do I have to do to serve more people? So we started our supplement company, Seeker, because we wanted to serve people in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Run to Gun TV, because we wanted to serve people in that way with entertainment, with living a specific way, showing examples on how we live, in that type of realm. And so we're running into all these things where it's like, okay, cool, but there's only so much time in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do we take what we have? How do we take our service of personal training and online training that we've been doing since 2011? How do we take Run to Gun TVs that we've been doing since 2013? How do we take our supplement company that we've been doing since 2019? Like, how do we take all this?
How do we take that calling of
Of
God
serving people.
of serving and community that's been being put on us?
Yes, because, and the thing that really stuck out to me was a verse that and of course I don't have it pulled up here because I'm really bad at memorizing verses. I've been working at it. I like to write stuff down, so I always write a lot of things down so I can go back to them. I have like note pages upon note pages, but one of the big verses that stood out to me, so I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't know it word for word, is that and it goes, a cord of one strand is easily broken. A cord of two strands is can kind of fight off a battle, but it's still can still be broken. But a cord of three strands is not easily broken.
Right.
That's very much paraphrased because it's evening and my mind is dead right now. But it's the cord of the cord of three strands is not easily broken. And what that means is that when we're together, when we're in a group, God designed us to be able to support each other and empower each other, and that when we're together, that we're much stronger. We can withstand. We can hold each other accountable. We can have discipline. But when we're alone and we're isolated, like 2020 really broke us down. What they tried to isolate us. They tried to get us alone in our thoughts. They tried to get us to feel miserable and worthless, and they're succeeding in that in so many areas. And so that verse just really connected with me and stood out to me because I'm seeing, and it was at the moment it was men specifically, just isolating themselves, and that's a cord, that's a strand that's easily broken. You know what I mean? Versus in a group. And we're designed, you look back in history, and men were always in these powerful groups, and men were always hunting together, gathering together. Men were gathering in pubs to start revolutions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that is the point. That is why they don't want us together. That's why churches are closed. That's why gyms are closed. That's why these places that's why the pubs were closed.
Yes.
Because that's where people gather. And so that really just stood out to me, and it connected with me. And especially along that lines of, at that same moment that all this was sticking out to me, I was in this phase of, ending 2020 where I was still like, I had stuff on my heart for years that was just like coming to the surface. What it was so much of me acknowledging for several years of what God wanted me to do, but me giving him the stiff arm. And so for years, I was having this calling and I wasn't obeying it though. I acknowledged that I heard the calling, but I wasn't then taking action steps on the calling. And I got absolutely so sick and tired of the way I felt within that. And a big part of that was being the spiritual leader in my own home. I was really good at leading people in the gym. I could lead my clients. I could lead, I could be motivational on my social medias. I could do all that, but I was not that same leader within my own house, to the extent of what I should have been doing. To the extent of what a good dad should be and an average husband should be. Yeah, I was probably accomplishing all that. It wasn't that I was terrible, but I definitely was not anywhere near what I'm supposed to be doing and being obedient to what I'm supposed to be doing. So you reach that pinnacle of that time in December of 2020 where, all of these things are kind of coming to the head all at once, and you just get, okay, fine, like, you just have that breaking point moment of like, okay, like, got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I have to do it differently. And so that is when all of this really started, morphing the self-development work, biting the bullet and getting a mentor, getting in a coaching group, and doing those things that I was being called to go do myself, but I needed to get in a circle too of people that were at different levels than me.
We're elevating you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That were pouring life into me, speaking
Mm-hmm.
life into me as well, and challenging me. Like,
Right.
I didn't have that. I didn't have anybody challenging me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was definitely a benefit. And so then go on, Amy, we're kind of pulling this whole story full circle here.
Right. So I kind of, I've always been into working out, not to the level of Jordan. I will give Jordan so much credit. I call myself like an average person. Jordan, whereas I sometimes take breaks, from working out because I will make up excuses of, oh, I'm too busy, or oh, I'm too tired, or this is going on in my life. And Jordan has always worked out. Like, you have never taken breaks. It's always been a part of your daily. And granted, he is a personal trainer, but still, he could come up with excuses like all of us do and not put that as a priority.
Exactly.
But to come back, I've started in the gym, and I always kind of needed a little bit of guidance. I had the ability to come up with some workouts on my own and figure out like some of the equipment and whatnot, and leg day, shoulder day. I could figure out things like that.
Right.
But then I would find myself doing a lot of the same things over and over, or doing the same reps and not really developing or growing or getting much anywhere.
Yeah, really understanding how to periodize your training.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a thing, and that's, I think, a thing that 99% of people don't actually know is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're supposed to periodize your training throughout the year. So it
Right.
goes in segments and it changes and adjusts. So you're going through phases of muscular growth. You're going through phases of power and strength. You're going
Mm-hmm.
through phases of endurance, depending on what your goals are as well. Obviously, how those change and adjust. But it's needed for multiple reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our body needs it. It needs to see change. But our minds need it so much too.
Right.
Which is why so many people all of a sudden fall off. And you see somebody who did really well in a year, and you're like, wow, they look like a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't run into them for 18 months, and you see them again, and you're like, oh, they gained like
Yeah.
60 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's but that's part of it, is just the lack of periodization, and the lack of buying into actual like lifestyle versus just, I'm going to hit it for 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I got to put a bow on this really quick because I had to pull it up. So the verse I was saying actually was Ecclesiastes 4:12, and now I'm like, duh. So though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. So I mean, that's what was just sticking out to me. And it kept occurring over and over and over and over and over. Like, it was just popping up like every freaking day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just God's way of being like, bro, like, you need to get out of isolation yourself too.
Right.
And you're visualizing, you're seeing it everywhere else, and I need you to lead. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that was the acknowledgement that I knew that he just never took action on.
Mm-hmm.
So go on, Amy.
So, talking about the gym, and I mentioned, there's lots of programs that are more for, working out at home. But I said to Jordan, like, there needs to be something more for people that want to go to the gym and need that structure and need that push
Yeah.
and need that accountability.
And that totally fits with how I've always trained my clients
Yes.
for the last decade, was get your butt to the gym. Like, I don't care that you have a home gym. I don't care that you have a set of dumbbells. Like, I need you to get out of your house, especially in this last year where people
Mm-hmm.
are working at home. I'm like, I need you to get out of your 4 walls.
Mm-hmm.
You need to step outside and breathe some fresh air. You need some sun on your skin, and you need to come get in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that place where you're going to focus on you.
Yes.
You can't focus on you at home. That's the biggest BS. Like,
Right.
you're not going to do it over your lunch hour and give it maximal mental effort and maximal physical effort.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many distractions. There's too many things that have to be done at home.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're single, you don't have those distractions. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like, the distractions are real. Like, when you're married, distractions are real. When you have a job and you're working from home, distractions are real. Add kids in the mix, distractions are super real. And that's coming from experience. We have a home gym.
Mm-hmm.
We have training sessions every week that happen at home in our garage.
Right.
And we have distractions every week that disrupt those workouts. You know what I mean? So it's just...
And we have a home gym, but it's got real gym equipment.
We have real gym equipment. It's not like 2 sets of dumbbells.
Yes.
And 2 bands and a chair.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? Like, and it's literally squat rack. It's barbells. It's a full set of dumbbells. Like, we have 90-pound dumbbells in our gym. Yeah. So it's like we have a really solid home gym setup, and I'm still like days where I'm like, oh, I don't want to drive. It's 17 minutes door to door where I train my clients in my gym, where I work out as well. And there's days where I don't want to drive 17 minutes to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I cannot focus here in my garage to work out.
Right.
Like, I don't want to spend the gas money, but I do it anyway because I know it's the right thing to do. And the commitment of that is greater than the circumstance of me being lazy.
Right. Yes.
So,
and I have done, some home workouts, and, Jordan will always be like, you need to be lifting heavier. He, like, really believes in, like, really pushing yourself with the weight, but you can only go so much in a home gym, 25, 30 pounds. And
do I believe that that's always better than nothing? Mm-hmm. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yes, definitely.
Like, that's all you can do. It's all you can do. Wonderful.
Exactly, yeah.
You need to do it. But there is a benefit of having having the weights at your disposal, having variety at your disposal, and you're not going to have a phase of overloading that muscle to break down muscle tissue using the same 15 and 20-pound, 25-pound dumbbells. Mm-hmm. Like, your body won't respond to that over time.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. And, like, I have worked out in gyms a lot. I have, done a lot of different types of workouts. But I was hitting a point of, if I go into the gym, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't, want to come up with something. I'm tired and have just got done working. I don't want to think of my own workout. I want someone to be like, this is what you should be doing. I want a professional, because obviously I want the most bang for my buck and
the time utilization.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's what most people want. They want to step in and not have to think. Mm-hmm. So, boom, where's my homework? Where's my reps at? Like, I want it handed to me so I can execute on the homework and do my best and get in and out.
Right.
Like, I'm going to rely on the professional to get me where I'm at. Where's my coach at? Mm-hmm. Okay, coach, what do I need to do today to get better?
Yes.
This is what, here, okay, Amy, this is what you need to get better today and tomorrow and the next day. Execute on these, follow my instruction, follow my coaching, we'll get you there.
Yes.
That is what we developed. Mm-hmm. That is what we turned this into.
Right. So as I was kind of explaining, like, Jordan's like, yeah, I totally agree. And I think this is like so much more powerful, more for men. I feel like men don't reach out for workout tips or whatnot. Yeah. They kind of have this mentality of, oh, I worked out in high school, so I know what I'm doing. Well, actually, you probably could be pushing yourself and elevating yourself. I think,
absolutely. Guys, don't lose her here, because I'm going to back this statement up. For the last 10 years, I've been doing this since 2011. Mm-hmm. Over a decade. Before that, I interned for a year before that. So I have over a decade, 11 years of experience in this. For the last 9 years, I have trained 90% women. Mm-hmm. 90% females specialized in that, very good at connecting with females and getting them to their goals. Mm-hmm. In the last year, ironically, in a little bit more than a year, it's actually flipped, and I've had more male clients than I've ever had. I was counting them the other day, and I think I was like 70% male. Mm-hmm. And every one of them had prior workout experience, and every one of them come every day. So it's like, oh, you always just give me something kind of different, and you always adjust this, and they're like, I wish I'd have been doing this sooner.
Yes.
I needed a coach, and you know what part of that is they're getting mentorship with that. They're getting fellowship with that. Mm-hmm. They're being held accountable. They're being pushed and challenged and pulled out of their comfort zones. They're making progress in their life. All of these things happen when you get with another dude, or you just get with a coach, whatever that is. Like, that is so key. And so, like you said, like, it is super key for men to jump in this group. We got a cat jumping in here making his appearance, but that's okay. but it's so important. But on the flip side, it's so important for women to get in here
Mm-hmm.
because the women are like the life, air, breath into this,
Mm-hmm.
and especially for the men because they help encourage the men to actually step in and do it and
Yes.
telling them it's okay to do it, and they bring the excitement and they bring the women bring all the passion into it,
Mhm.
and they get excited about it and they make
Right.
the posts and they talk about it. So it's just this cool, roundabout circle that everybody serves everybody.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I think it brings a good mix of everything, and so gonna try and round this out, finish our.
Good. Keep rocking. We're fun.
We got talking about this, and there's that missing kind of need of really those gym workouts, that accountability, and finally it just clicked of really what the Seeker Squad should be.
Right.
And as we got talking, all the elements of the legs just fell into place in circle, and it's also something that
We
I
didn't, and we didn't design that.
no,
You know
and
what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's what's so cool.
And it's always been a frustration of Jordan's because I've kind of sat on the sidelines of Run to Gun and Seeker supplements these last few years just because obviously I'm not a hunter. Like, he takes me on a hunt once a year, but
Yeah.
it's not my passion.
Right.
I get cold.
Yeah. So lame.
But I don't know the whole development of, supplements and whatnot. Obviously, I take them, but I never felt my part in it. And he was always kind of, I think, a little frustrated because I was just sitting on the sidelines. And finally, when we got the idea of Seeker Squad, it was like, I got my part in this. Like, I feel like we can do this together and we can make a really big impact.
Yeah, I was totally frustrated. Like always I always expressed that to you. I was just like, yeah, you're like, you don't support. Like, I need your support on this, and you're like, well, I do support you. Like, and I'm like, and I didn't know how to put that into words.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have words for that because obviously you were always supporting me. Like, you're always like, nope, keep going. Like, good job. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but I didn't know that I was like, no, I want you like in it, in a part
Right.
of it. And yeah, in the Seeker Squad, what we developed, what everything fell into, was that answer. You know what I mean? Because, like we talked about, what it does is it's this daily training, right? So daily training video.
Mhm.
But that's where most other people stop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, here's your daily training
Mhm.
video. And so that's where ours starts.
Right.
Is here's your daily training video. Okay, well then what? You know what I mean? Like, well, do you get mentorship with like your coaching? Because I look back, I'm like, okay, why has my one-on-one training been so successful? Because people get fellowship, mentorship, friendship, accountability, all of that. So I'm like, okay, so we need to pull that into, even though this is virtual, how do we pull
Yes.
that into it? So we have coaching calls. Like, we do these coaching calls on as well, that have to do with life, that have to do with, relationships, that have to do with
Yes.
with these things on how to actually have personal development.
Mhm.
So it's also a personal development platform.
Right.
That's also, a thing that makes it so much more powerful. It's also, as we're growing this, we're smaller right now. As we grow, the interactive community is going to be so powerful because when you're going to be able to network on the platform with hundreds of other people across the country, and you're like, oh, dude, like, I want to move to Denver, Colorado. Like, who in here is there anybody in here in Denver that's like has a job? And so there's all these connections. I really believe that there's going to be relationships formed, business started, and like even potential like marriages happen because of the Seeker Squad.
Or marriages getting stronger.
Yeah, and most definitely, you know what I mean. Like, from the interactive platform, we already have a couple signing up here tonight that are actually husband and wife that have been doing it together on a free trial, and they're like, that was the biggest thing. They're like, oh yeah, it's something that we can do together. It's perfect.
Definitely.
And so it's tying in that with the training. It's tying in the new. Amy's been crushing this content down there of hopping on, and she's showing how we do supper for our family. Like how
Yes.
she does these fast meals that are healthy, that are amazing. She jumps on these lives every week, and people are benefiting from them. We have people that are like, oh, dude, I'm implementing this in. This is helping me so much. Thanks for the ideas. Like I have these leftovers in my fridge, like these basic things that you
Right.
can create awesome meals with. And then obviously, how do we tie in our supplement company? Well, now it's like easy, perfect. So all of our members get discount on our supplements. And most people, if they're buying several supplements a month, which most of them already were, the discount they're receiving is actually making up the $39.99 cost for the Seeker Squad. So yeah, I
Yeah.
said that correctly.
Yeah.
Seeker Squad's only $39.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy discount.
Yeah.
That's crazy value for
Huge.
everything that we're just
Yeah.
talking about. Plus, you get 10% off any Run Gun events throughout the year too.
Mm-hmm.
So like our Elevate, we're doing an Elevate 4-hour workout this Friday night. Like those are 10% off. Our Seeker Summits, our men's trips, all those things are 10% off. So if you ever want to go to one and you're a
Right.
squad member, like you're saving, like you're saving so much already right there.
Yes.
It's just a super good value, and that's what we wanted to do. And then obviously, like we jump on Sunday nights too, and like we pray over our squad members.
Yeah,
Like
that was also something we wanted to make sure was it's going to be faith-based. We are going to talk about God. We are going to talk
Right.
about Jesus. We are going to talk about how we implement that into our daily life, and we're not going to shy from that because we feel we need to be obedient and do what the Lord's been telling us. So that's part of it. So
yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? The whole point is with this platform is to serve people. And to serve people as many as we can, as efficiently as we can, as best we can, and reflect obviously what Christ did for us with that. So that's the whole point of the platform. So that's what we're working on right now. That's been the big project for us here,
right.
and it's been really exciting.
It's definitely we know it's going to start small and it's just going to take little by little.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. it's
It
gonna be
already
good.
is. It already has been awesome this first month and a half of it.
I'm already getting in a lot better shape.
You have been. It's been awesome.
Like I said, I feel like I'm the average one in the relationship. I have a lot of bad habits.
She says average one. I literally so get this. I literally have been running all summer. I'm not an endurance guy. I was a sprinter in college, but I'm like this summer I'm like I'm gonna spend more time outside. I'm gonna take my kids to the pool. We're gonna go to the beach more. I'm gonna run on trails because I just need to be outside more. And so I've been running distance like 2-3 times a week. And when I say distance, I'm saying like 3-4 miles. I did like 1 or 2 5-milers. It is challenging for me. I'm not built for that.
He's never been a long distance.
No,
and
it's
he's
like-
always complained about it.
Yeah, and so I hit a 5-miler here a couple weeks ago, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a 6 to 8. And so a couple weeks ago, I went to go hit 6 to 8, and I hit 5, and I like keep dying. So I'm like, I do this twice, and I fail at getting to 6 to 8 multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And so then last weekend, I'm like, we're going out to the Badlands. I'm hitting a trail run. Like, I'm hitting 10. I'm hitting 10 plus. I'm skipping the 6 to 8's a bunch of garbage. Like, I'm skipping it. I'm just going to go straight to 10. Amy has not ran anything over 800 yards like all summer. She's been doing my more metabolic conditioning and our workouts, and she's comes along
Maybe
with
done
me.
2 miles.
Did you? When did you do that?
Kind of more early in the summer.
Okay, so a long time ago, exactly. So she goes out there, and we hit this run, and she hits like 7.5 of the 10. I ran 10.35, and she ran like 7.5 of it, untrained, and then hikes the rest of it back out, the other 3. So she still went over 10, but ran 7.5 of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I'm all proud of myself for hitting this 10.35, but I've been running since May. And she comes out here untrained, and she's like, oh, I think I'm the average one. Like, get out of here, dude. You just, like, that 7.5's way more impressive than my 10 trained. Like, way more impressive. So don't let her fool you.
Yeah. No. But
She beats me in the Murph every Memorial Day.
I beat you in the Murph.
I've never beat you.
I beat you in the first Run to Gun Monday challenge.
You did.
Usually when I'm going up against him, that competitive drive just comes in me. And
That's what we need. Like, that's why the group right there is so powerful, right? Like, people start posting and jumping in, sharing what they're doing. That's why it's so key. That's why we encourage people to share their workouts. Like, that's why we encourage you to share your workout, not so other people can beat you. It's so you make your performance public, so the next time we do it,
You can
you
beat
can
it.
hold yourself accountable to that performance and work at increasing and getting better at your previous performance.
Yes. 'Cause
That
that's
is
all
key.
it's all about. You want to keep building and pushing and going to the next level. And if you're never really looking back to where you started, how do you know how much you've grown?
You literally don't. And if you don't have, on the flip side, if you don't look forward a year or 3 years or 5 years and have a goal of the person you want to be, then you're already that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to change.
Right.
You are already that person. That's a really discouraging thought. Think about that. Who you are right now and the things you don't like about yourself. If you don't have vision for your life in a year or 3 years or 5 years, you're already the person. You're already that person that you're going to be in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty discouraging thought. Like, you got to sit down. You got to create vision for yourself. And we're going to be doing a podcast on that.
Yes.
Because we've been doing vision. We started this thing called Vision Nights. So that's a podcast we're going to be going over here soon. Amy and I really know that's going to bring a ton of tangible value. It's going to help you out and sit down and for you to be able to really create vision for your life, create vision in your marriage, create vision in your business. We also have another one that we're going to go over here soon called Inventory and Upgrades as well.
Yes.
It was actually one of our first coaching calls. We're going to kind of give you an example. I should say kind of. We are going to give you an example on another podcast of what some of our coaching calls are like. We're not going to give you all of it, but we're going to give you an example of it. We're actually going to do it tonight, but we've rambled on here
Kinda
plenty
done.
long.
Yeah.
On the story, which I think is perfect. I don't think it would have fit, so I'm glad
Right.
this has been good. We gave people the actual full story, not full, but a big portion of the Seeker Squad.
Yeah. The whole background and how it came to fruition and
How things aren't like random.
yes.
How it was like very much designed over years and years, and how pieces fall into the puzzle like that we couldn't design. Like, we did not design
No.
them. You know what I mean? Like, it was predestined and designed and then brought together. So really cool
Yes.
how that all happens. So here's the thing. You can join Seeker Squad really easy. You can just go to run2gun.com. There's a sign up. There's two different signups. There's one for the Run2Gun member section access. You can do that one. That one is not the one we're talking about. That is really minimal. It is
Yes.
just a daily workout posted. That is it. Like, written out on our website.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a great little thing
Yeah,
if you need
but it's
something.
just
But it's
a written
not
workout.
what we've been talking about. What you want to click on is the Seeker Squad virtual training private platform.
Yes.
So you just click on that and you can subscribe. It's $39.99 a month. After you join, you'll get notified. We'll get you in on our private platform, and we'll get you all your codes, your personal codes for the supplements. We get you all of that, and we get you started ASAP.
Yep.
So we'd love it. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to us as well.
Definitely.
We'd love to answer any questions that you have. So just reach out to us. Obviously, our handles at Run2Gun. Amy's is Amy. What is your handle now?
Amy Miller _ Seeker Pro.
Seeker Pro. That's right.
From the Pro.
Yes, you are. So at Run2Gun, then Amy Miller _ Seeker Pro. You can drop any questions that you want under either one of those, or
Either one.
email at jordan@run2gun.com. You can email
Yeah.
the questions over. We'll get you rocking.
We're loading things up with a lot of content, so there's good things to view and
Yeah.
whatnot to keep you jacked up and whatnot. So
It's been fun, and it's just going to get even better.
Yes.
So thanks for jumping on tonight's podcast. We hope that it was valuable for you. We hope it was entertaining for you. And obviously, share it with somebody, right? As a small business, all of your guys' likes, comments, shares is what helps us grow. So the more people see it, the more your friends connect with it. When your friends know that you connected with it, that helps other people connect with it as well. So share, add value. When you receive value, add the value back in to your friends and family around you. So that's it.
yeah.
Good work. We'll see you guys later, and we'll be jumping on another podcast really soon.
See ya.